Welcome to our channel, dedicated to uncovering the remarkable stories of rare and valuable US dimes. Though small in size, these coins carry rich history and hidden value that often go unnoticed. Stick around to learn how their unique characteristics can reveal amazing treasures that link us to the past and captivate collectors around the world. Let's begin with a coin that might surprise you, the 1960 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks just like any other dime you've probably seen or spent without giving it a second thought. But in the world of numismatics, it holds a place that's both fascinating and unexpectedly valuable. This little 10-cent coin, when preserved just right, has turned heads for all the right reasons. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946, just months after President Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away. His leadership during the Great Depression and World War II made him a national figure worthy of tribute. The dime was chosen specifically because of Roosevelt's strong connection to the March of Dimes, a campaign he supported in the fight against polio. By 1960, the coin's design, featuring Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and a torch flanked by olive and oak branches on the reverse, had already become a fixture in American pocket change. Coins produced in Philadelphia carried no mint mark at that time, which was standard practice until the late 1960s. Now, let's talk about what sets this coin apart. While the 1960 Roosevelt dime was struck in large numbers, well into the hundreds of millions, not all of them were created equal. The vast majority went straight into circulation. They were used, exchanged, dropped in vending machines, and carried in coin purses for decades. These coins suffered from everyday wear, dulling the fine details and losing their original luster. But a very small number of these dimes avoided circulation altogether. These are coins that were carefully stored, untouched by human hands, preserved in rolls, sets, or private collections. What makes them truly exceptional is when they come with a high-quality strike, where every detail, from Roosevelt's hair to the fine lines in the torch on the reverse, is clean and crisp. Collectors pay close attention to the strike, especially when looking for what's called full bands. This term refers to the torch design on the reverse of the dime. When all the horizontal bands on the torch are clearly separated and well-defined, the coin receives this special designation. And coins with full bands in mint state grades are far less common than you might think. These details are what push a coin from being worth just a few cents to becoming a valuable collector's piece. It's not just about how old the coin is or how many were made, it's about condition, quality, and how well it has survived over time. Even among uncirculated coins, not all are equal. Some have minor flaws, weak strikes, or signs of aging. But a 1960 no-mint mark Roosevelt dime with bright surfaces, no visible wear, and strong details is something that stands out in a big way. Over the years, these standout examples have been submitted to professional grading services. When a coin receives a high mint state grade, like MS 67 or MS 68, especially with the full bands designation, its value increases dramatically. Only a tiny fraction of the original coins meet that standard today, making them highly desirable to serious collectors. Interestingly, this coin doesn't need an error or a unique design to be valuable. Its worth comes purely from being struck well and preserved perfectly, something that highlights how important quality control and storage are in the world of coin collecting. What's more, demand for high-grade Roosevelt dimes has grown steadily over the past 2 decades. As more collectors build complete registry sets, competitive sets graded and ranked by condition, the demand for top-tier examples from every year has surged. That demand drives up prices, especially when only a few examples of a certain year and mint combination exist in top grades. Even collectors who focus on more modern coins are drawn to the 1960 dime for its historical relevance, clean design, and the rarity of perfect specimens. It's a coin that blends accessibility, since most people are familiar with the dime, with a surprising level of value when the right coin is found. But it's also a perfect example of how numismatics isn't always about the oldest or rarest coin on paper. Sometimes, it's about the coin that tells a story, one of preservation, craftsmanship, and attention to detail. And it serves as a reminder that even in your loose change or old family coin collection, there might be something far more valuable than expected. Now let's talk numbers. One of these rare 1960 Roosevelt dimes with no mint mark, graded in pristine mint state condition with full bands and virtually flawless surfaces, has reached a jaw-dropping value of $138,000. Yes, that's $138,000 for a single dime, a coin originally worth just 10 cents. This sale wasn't driven by hype or error, it was driven by scarcity in top condition, collector demand, and the reputation of a well-preserved piece of American coinage history. So if you ever come across a 1960 dime that looks unusually sharp, with bright luster and clear band lines on the torch, take a second look. Set it aside. It may just be one of those rare survivors that collectors dream about. The next coin on our list is the 1991 Roosevelt dime, minted in Denver, known simply as the 1991 D. Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it might appear to be just another dime in your pocket. After all, the Roosevelt dime has been one of the most common coins in circulation for decades. But what if I told you that some examples of this very coin can fetch an astonishing amount of money? Today, we're going to explore exactly why. The Roosevelt dime has a rich history, starting in 1946. It was created to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who was deeply associated with the fight against polio, a cause that inspired the March of Dimes Foundation. The coin's design, crafted by John R. Sinek, features Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and a torch flanked by olive and oak branches on the reverse, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. By 1991, the Roosevelt dime was a well-established coin, and the Denver Mint produced over 1 billion of these coins that year. With such high production numbers, the coin might seem common, but the value comes from a few key factors: condition, strike quality, and rarity of top-grade specimens. First, let's talk about the condition. Most coins in circulation suffer wear and tear from handling, making them common and low in value. However, some coins remain in pristine, uncirculated condition, either because they were preserved in mint sets or hidden away shortly after production. These coins are highly desirable to collectors because they showcase the original details of the design without any damage or wear. One important feature for Roosevelt dimes is the full bands designation. This refers to the horizontal bands on the torch on the reverse side. On coins that are well struck, these bands are fully separated and sharply defined. However, due to die wear or weaker strikes, many Roosevelt dimes have bands that are less distinct or merged together. The presence of full bands significantly increases the coin's value among collectors. Another factor is the rarity of high-grade examples from this particular year and mint. While millions were made, very few survived in top mint state condition, especially with the full band's detail intact. This scarcity creates a premium for collectors seeking to complete high-grade sets. Grading by professional services like PCGS and NGC is essential to establishing a coin's market value. The grading process evaluates the coin's condition and strike quality, assigning a grade on a scale from 1 to 70. For the 1991 D. Roosevelt dime, coins graded MS 67 or higher with full bands are considered rare and command much higher prices. The market for these coins has grown significantly as more collectors seek to assemble high-quality Roosevelt dime collections. The demand for pristine, full bands examples has driven prices up, with certain coins reaching remarkable sums. Now, you might be wondering how such a small coin can reach such high values. It's all about the story behind the coin and the intense competition among collectors. When a coin like this appears, it becomes a prized possession, representing not just metal and design, but a piece of numismatic history. In fact, auction records show that dealers and collectors are willing to pay top dollar to secure these rare gems for their collections, knowing the value is only likely to increase over time. The fascination with Roosevelt dimes, especially key years like 1991 D with full bands, has transformed what many see as pocket change into prized artifacts. So, if you ever find yourself with a 1991 D. Roosevelt dime that appears particularly sharp and well struck, don't dismiss it as just spare change. Take a closer look, and consider having it evaluated by a professional grader. You might be holding a valuable treasure. Collecting coins is about uncovering stories hidden in small pieces of history. Each coin tells a tale, from the moment it was struck at the mint to the hands it passed through over decades. The 1991 D. Roosevelt dime is a perfect example, a seemingly ordinary coin transformed into something extraordinary. As coin collectors, it's exciting to find such gems that bridge the past with the present. They remind us that value isn't always obvious at first glance. It's often hidden beneath the surface, waiting for discovery. So what is the current value of a top-tier 1991 D. Roosevelt dime with full bands? One such coin recently sold for an impressive $64,000. That's right, $64,000 for a single dime. This value reflects not only the coin's condition and rarity but also the passion and competition among collectors who recognize the coin's significance. And while that price might sound unbelievable for a dime, it's a perfect example of how numismatics turns everyday objects into treasured pieces of history. For many, the hunt for such coins becomes a lifelong journey, filled with surprises and stories. It's a testament to the idea that even the smallest things can carry immense value when viewed through the lens of history and rarity. So next time you check your change, keep an eye out, your pocket might just hold a hidden fortune. Next up, we have the 1995 Roosevelt dime minted in Philadelphia, commonly called the 1995 P. Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it's easy to overlook this coin as just another dime rolling around in your pocket. After all, the Roosevelt dime is one of the most recognizable and widely circulated coins in the United States. But as we dig deeper, you'll see why this particular dime has caught the eyes of collectors and why it's far more valuable than you might imagine. The Roosevelt dime first appeared in 1946, created as a tribute to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Roosevelt was a towering figure in American history, known not only for leading the country through the Great Depression and World War II but also for his personal battle with polio. The March of Dimes Foundation, which fights to eradicate polio and improve infant health, was directly inspired by Roosevelt's efforts. So this dime isn't just metal, it carries a legacy of hope and perseverance. The coin's design has remained mostly unchanged since it was first released. On the front, you see Roosevelt's profile, a dignified representation of the man himself, designed by John R. Sinek. On the back, a torch shines brightly, flanked by olive and oak branches, symbols of peace and strength. This timeless design captures both the man and the ideals he stood for, making the dime more than just currency. It's a miniature monument to American resilience. In 1995, the Philadelphia Mint produced a staggering number of these dimes, flooding the market with over 500 million coins. With so many minted, it might seem impossible for any single dime from this year to stand out. But coin collecting is all about the details, and sometimes, even the most common coins hide extraordinary stories. For coin collectors, condition is everything. Most coins you find in circulation show signs of wear, scratches, faded details, and other marks that come with daily handling. But sometimes, coins slip through the cracks and remain in pristine, mint condition. These gems are usually kept in special mint sets or tucked away before they ever hit circulation. And that's exactly what collectors are after. One of the most important features for Roosevelt dimes is what's called the full bands designation. If you flip the coin over and look closely at the torch, you'll notice horizontal bands wrapped around it. On a perfectly struck dime, these bands are fully separated and crisply defined. But many dimes suffer from weaker strikes or die wear, causing these bands to blur together. The full bands designation is a mark of quality that sets these coins apart and can significantly increase their value. This detail might seem small, but for numismatists, coin collectors and experts, it's a huge deal. Full bands indicate a strong strike from fresh dies, preserving the intricate details that are often lost on coins that have been mass-produced over time. When you find a 1995 P. Roosevelt dime with full bands that is also in pristine condition, you've struck numismatic gold. Collectors go wild for 1995 P. Roosevelt dimes that come with full bands in pristine condition, especially those graded mint state 67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. These grades mean the coin shows no wear and retains its original sharpness and luster, a rare find for a coin that's been around for decades. As demand for high-grade full bands examples continues to climb, prices have surged. Collectors and dealers alike understand the rarity and historical importance of these coins, making them highly sought after in auctions and private sales. What was once thought of as pocket change now represents a significant investment opportunity for those who know the coin story. Beyond just the physical characteristics, there's also a sense of pride that comes with owning one of these coins. It's like holding a piece of history that has survived time almost untouched, a token of craftsmanship and a reminder of a nation's past. That emotional connection often fuels the competitive bidding at auctions, driving prices even higher. But don't just take my word for it, these coins have been known to fetch jaw-dropping sums. They're a shining example of how something as small as a dime can hold incredible value when you know what to look for. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, a top-tier 1995 P. Roosevelt dime with full bands, graded MS 67 or higher, can sell for as much as $59,000. Yes, that's right, nearly $60,000 for a single dime. It's a fascinating reminder that history, rarity, and the passion of collectors can transform even the smallest coins into prized treasures. So next time you glance at a dime, remember, there might just be a fortune hiding in plain sight. Whether you're an experienced collector or someone who just enjoys learning about the stories behind coins, the 1995 P. Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of how much value can be packed into something seemingly ordinary. It challenges us to look closer, appreciate the details, and never underestimate the power of history in our hands. So, if you come across a 1995 P. Roosevelt dime that looks especially sharp and well-defined, don't just toss it back in your change, take a closer look. It could be one of those rare full bands examples that collectors are eager to get their hands on. Now moving on to the next coin on our list, the 2007 1 D coin from the Denver Mint. At first glance, it might seem like just another dime, easily overlooked in your everyday pocket change. But as with many coins, the real story lies beneath the surface, and this particular dime holds some surprises for collectors and enthusiasts alike. The Roosevelt dime, as many of you know, has been a beloved American coin since it was first introduced in 1946. Created to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the coin carries more than just monetary value. It represents the resilience and spirit of a leader who faced immense challenges, including his battle with polio. The March of Dimes Foundation, closely tied to Roosevelt's legacy, further elevates the significance of this humble coin. The design, by John R. Sinek, has stood the test of time. Roosevelt's profile commands the obverse side, while the reverse features a torch surrounded by olive and oak branches, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. It's a classic design that has remained largely unchanged for decades, making any variation or quality difference all the more important to collectors. In 2007, the Denver Mint produced millions of these dimes, so finding one might not seem like a big deal. However, what sets the 2007 1 D coin apart is the combination of condition and strike quality. Coins that have remained uncirculated and boast a sharp, clear impression are incredibly rare, especially after so many years. Most coins that have circulated show signs of wear, scratches, faded details, or dull surfaces, making pristine examples hard to come by. One of the most important features collectors look for on Roosevelt dimes is the full bands designation on the torch. These horizontal bands should be fully separated and distinctly visible. Unfortunately, due to die wear and varying strike pressures, many coins lose this detail, making full bands coins highly desirable. The full bands are not just a small design feature, they're a key indicator of the coin's quality and minting precision. Another factor adding to the allure of this coin is its rarity in high grades. Despite the huge number minted, only a small fraction survive in pristine condition with the full bands feature intact. This rarity drives demand and boosts value among collectors aiming for the best examples in their collections. For many, acquiring such a coin is not just about possession but about preserving a piece of history in its purest form. Professional grading is essential when determining the coin's condition and authenticity. The highest grades, such as Mint State 67 and above, with the full bands designation, are especially sought after. Such coins are considered rare and reflect the highest standards of minting quality. Grading services like PCGS and NGC provide collectors confidence in the coin's authenticity and condition, which directly impacts its market value. Collectors prize these coins not just for their beauty but also for the story they tell, a tangible connection to history, preserved in metal. Each pristine 2007 1 dime D coin is a reminder of craftsmanship and legacy, making it much more than just a dime. It's a symbol of dedication, quality, and the subtle nuances that can turn an ordinary coin into a treasured collectible. So, if you ever come across a 2007 1 dime D coin that appears exceptionally sharp, with clearly defined full bands, don't overlook it. This small coin could be a hidden treasure in your collection. Even coins that appear ordinary at first glance deserve a second look, especially when the full bands detail is present. That detail alone can transform the coin's value dramatically. Keep in mind that the market for these coins continues to grow as new collectors enter the field, eager to find such rare gems. The demand keeps pushing values higher, especially for those flawless examples that stand out. Holding one of these coins is not only a financial investment but also a chance to own a tangible piece of American history. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, recognizing and appreciating the significance of coins like this can be incredibly rewarding. It's a reminder that sometimes, the smallest objects carry the biggest stories. And now, the exciting part. The current value of a top-quality 2007 1 dime D coin with full bands and a high mint state grade can reach an impressive $35,000. This isn't just about numbers, it's about the thrill of discovery, the joy of collecting, and the stories that these tiny coins carry through time. Imagine holding a piece of history in the palm of your hand, knowing it's one of the few that have survived in such pristine condition. Coins like the 2007 1 dime D remind us that sometimes the most extraordinary treasures are hiding in the most ordinary places, like your own pocket or piggy bank. It's a reminder to always look a little closer and appreciate the details others might miss. Up next, we have the 2018 Roosevelt dime from the Denver Mint, a coin that might seem like just another dime in your pocket but holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. Though it looks familiar, this particular dime carries a rare charm that sets it apart from the everyday coins you see. The Roosevelt dime has long been a symbol of American history and resilience since its introduction in 1946, honoring President Franklin Delano Roosevelt and his courageous fight against polio. The coin's design, featuring Roosevelt's dignified profile on one side and a torch framed by olive and oak branches on the other, has become a timeless tribute to liberty and strength. In 2018, the Denver Mint produced millions of these dimes, flooding circulation with countless examples. However, not all dimes are created equal. What makes certain 2018 D Roosevelt dimes truly stand out is their exceptional condition and the presence of a highly sought-after detail known as the full bands on the torch. These horizontal bands on the reverse side, when fully defined and sharply separated, reveal the coin was struck with extraordinary precision. It's a subtle feature but one that can dramatically increase the coin's appeal among collectors. Unfortunately, many dimes lose this detail due to die wear or weaker strikes, making coins with full bands a rare find. Beyond this unique feature, the coin's condition plays a crucial role. Dimes that remain in mint state condition, free from the wear and tear of circulation, are uncommon. The combination of pristine condition and full band status makes these coins highly desirable and adds to their rarity. Collectors treasure these dimes not only for their beauty but for the story they represent, a connection to an era, a moment preserved in metal. Every crisp line and clearly defined band on the torch speaks to the craftsmanship and care involved in minting these coins. Because of these factors, the 2018 D Roosevelt dime can be much more than pocket change. Coins that meet these high standards are recognized by collectors and experts as worthy additions to any serious collection. Their rarity, condition, and quality strike make them a hidden gem among modern coins, offering a promising prospect for those who hold them. Even though this coin is relatively recent compared to some classic rarities, its appeal lies in how few examples remain in such pristine condition. Over time, as collectors continue to seek out the best examples, the demand for these coins is likely to grow, enhancing their importance and desirability. What's fascinating about collecting coins like this is the blend of history, art, and science. Every coin is a product of expert craftsmanship, from the detailed engraving to the minting process itself. The full band's detail on this dime reflects a moment when everything aligned perfectly, a sharp strike, a fresh die, and impeccable preservation. The passion for collecting coins like this dime isn't just about the monetary aspect, it's about preserving history and appreciating the art and precision of minting. Each coin carries a unique story, from the moment it was struck to the hands it passed through over the years, making it a fascinating piece of Americana. Collectors also often share a deeper connection to these coins. They're tangible links to the past, reminders of times gone by, and symbols of the stories that shaped a nation. The 2018 Roosevelt dime, while modern, holds that same power and potential for future generations to cherish. So, if you find yourself with a 2018 Roosevelt dime that shows sharp detail and full bands, it's worth taking a moment to appreciate its potential significance. This dime could be a valuable asset, a piece that stands out from the millions produced in that year, representing quality, rarity, and historical connection all at once. For collectors and enthusiasts alike, these coins offer more than just a numismatic interest. They embody the excitement of discovery, the joy of completing a collection with a rare find, and the satisfaction of owning something truly special. Remember, coin collecting is as much about patience and knowledge as it is about luck. Understanding what makes a coin rare, appreciating the subtle details like full bands, and knowing the importance of condition can transform how you view what might seem like everyday change. As the final coin in today's lineup, the 2018 Roosevelt dime perfectly illustrates how even the most familiar coins can surprise us with their hidden worth. It's a reminder that with careful observation and knowledge, collectors can uncover treasures in the most unexpected places. So keep your eyes open, your hands steady, and your passion alive, because the next valuable coin could be sitting right in your pocket, a small dime with a big story to tell. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed discovering these amazing dimes, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating coin stories and collector tips. Your support means a lot and helps us bring you even more hidden treasures from the world of coins. We can't wait to share more incredible finds with you. Happy hunting, and see you in the next video.